The idea came in 2005. We did our first show in 2006, but there weren't that many paying opportunities in Madison for actors and for artists in general. There were some, but I thought it was unfortunate that there weren't a lot of paid opportunities, and I also wanted to do musicals that were especially thought-provoking. This is my 23-year-old mission version of the mission. But I really have always thought that musicals are definitely entertaining, but have more to offer, educational opportunities and all kinds of ways to represent different people and different ideas and connect to different industries and educational outlets. And so that's what I wanted to do. And it was rocky for a while because I was 23 and I had no idea what I was doing. But yeah, it's our 15th anniversary and we've come a long way.
I auditioned. I saw a posting for MTM, and they said in the casting call, this was 2 years ago now. Wow.
2019, beginning of 2019 is when you auditioned. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was. But they said that they were doing a lot of new works, including they had Held on there and Indecent, and they had mentioned 10 Days in the Madhouse, and I was like, this is cool. I love, like, new works is what I do. That at the time I was serving as director of new works development for All In, and I was really excited about it. And they also said, bring us 2 songs that show how well you can tell a story while singing it. And I was like, wheelhouse. So I got together with my good friend Danielle Bryn, who I had been doing some vocal coaching with, and she'd been looking for a place to audition, and we're like, yeah, let's carpool, let's do it. So like a lot of theater companies in this area and probably in this country happen when somebody's like, I really want to do this show and I don't have a company to do it, I'm going to start one. Rather than independently produced, they just decide to start a company because that's what they think is necessary. But what I think is really unique about MTM is Megan has really put in the work to understand what it means to run a company, mm-hmm. and to develop a company and to fund a company and all of those things. And oftentimes early young companies end up having artists in those roles who would rather be making the art. And Megan has done a really great job of balancing the art making and making high level art and doing meaningful work, but also building an organization that is sustainable and works really strongly towards being able to pay its artists and grow and change and evolve and adapt to become the best and most equitable theater that it can be.
Thanks, buddy.
So you have, I mean, it's a very like imaginative and like out of the box season with what you're doing. Partly, to be creative, but then partly because you have to be with COVID and everything going on. So how do you see sort of these pivots that you're doing now, like staying in place once we're on the other side of everything? Like, do you see kind of keeping this more like digital creative side going, or like what kind of balance are you looking at on the other side?
I think we definitely should. I think that all of us in the arts industry have learned all these things. We've learned about, I knew nothing about podcasting, and we've learned all about creating digital things. And it'll be interesting to see what audiences are going for once it's still possible to go, once it becomes possible again to go out and do things. On the one hand, we may have a huge flock of people that want to go back to live events, but on the other hand, we may have people that have gotten so used to being able to do things on their own time that digital events might still be a big thing. And then there's also the accessibility issue with, making, when you have people come to the theater, you're asking them to do a lot of things. So having the option to do things from home is helpful to a lot of people. So it'll be interesting to see how audience trends go that way. But in terms of accessibility and making sure we're reaching a broader audience, I definitely want to keep these initiatives up. At the very least, offering digital options for everything that we do, and then continuing these partnerships and developing new work and continuing to ask that question of what is a musical?